just to give you guys, oops, sorry. Just to give you guys a general idea of how the or who's coming to our conference. So these are some of our exhibitors. We have US Army, University of Pacific, we have UC Davis School of Medicine, University of Michigan, Johns Hopkins, we have UCSF, and many more. If you want to see all of the breakdown of multiple sponsors coming this year, you can head over to our website, and we have prepared fair. And you can find all of the sponsors coming in this year. Okay, so our exhibitors represent all of these following health professions. So we have dentistry, nursing, optometry, vet med, and pharmacy, and then PA programs coming in. We have osteopathic medicines. Again, we are keeping up to date, like our website is up to date with all of the sponsors. So if you head over to our website, which will be showing you the website and our social media accounts, you can head over there and like just to get a general gist of like who is coming. We do post our stuff there and the sponsor content. So just to give you guys a general gist of how the conference day is going to look like, we're going to start out with a check-in. It's from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. early in the morning. However, I would like to say here that we do have in the past years people come in around like 5 a.m. in the morning. So just to be on the safer side, if you come in early, that's like a better option. After our check-in, also putting here that our check-in and during our check-in, we would be handing out our lanyards and bracelet for identification. So it's important to be able to like access our pre-health fair and other workshops. So if you cannot make it to the check-in, you won't be able to get that, or it might cause like problems. So just to be on the safe side, make sure that you are here early in the morning during our check-in time. Then after the check-in, we have our welcome at the youth center. It's from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. So if you want to hear from our speakers and just like inspirational speeches, this is the time to do so. After our welcome, we are going to have our pre-health fair. It is in the Hutchinson Field. Hutchfield is right next to U Center, so it's like not far away. You would come out of the U Center, go to the Hutchfield. And then our pre-health fair is going to be 3 hours from 2 hours, 9 to 12. Sorry. Whoopsies. Okay. And then our lunch is from 12 to 1. I want to make clear here that we do not provide lunch, and lunch is not covered in your tickets. So you would have to get that on your own. We do have like some food places nearby, but they are like a little far. So just to be within like the time frame, and just to keep in mind that our workshop starts like right at 1. We would suggest to get like lunch from home. It's easier that way, and just like to not spend much time on it. Our second half of the workshop, the second half of the conference includes the workshops. We have 3 workshop sessions, 1, 2, and 3. Each are like 50 minutes. And the first one is from like 1:10 to 2. Then we have a 10-minute break. And then the next is from 2:10 to 3. And then 3:10 to 4. We do have multiple workshops within these sessions. For example, like session 1 would have like multiple workshops. We would be providing everyone the schedule of the workshops. It would be also in your like program, which you would be handed out. So you can like see which workshops you want to attend and make your own schedule according to that. And then our final closing and giveaway is going to be at the U Center, again from 4:15 to 4:30, and that would be the end of the day. Okay, so just to give you guys a general sneak peek to the workshops, we have admission panels from multiple health professions. We also have diversity in the healthcare and women in the healthcare workshops. We have some didactic workshops, including Explore Professions and Specialities, MCAT, and other test prep sessions. We also have application prep workshops. Other than that, the interactive workshops, which are the fun part, we have mock MMIs, tutoring, CPR training, and case studies. And just to also put it out here, we would be hanging out the tickets for the interactive workshop. So we have limited spots. So the earlier you come in for the check-in, the more chances that you would be able to get the interactive workshop tickets. That, I'm going to hand it over.
Thanks, Ruta. Oh, wait. Also, I just realized we never introduced ourselves. So, hi everyone. My name is Purva. I am one of the strategic communications co-assistant coordinators. Ruta, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. So my name is Rutab, and I'm also one of the Stratcom's co-assistant.
Yeah, thank you. So, moving on to preparing to ask questions, this is more important when you actually interact one-on-one with the admission representative. The first thing to remember is to introduce yourself. I know it might sound very obvious, but most of the time, whenever we are talking to the representative, sometimes we get nervous, sometimes we are anxious, and we forget to introduce ourselves. So the reason why it is important is that so that the admission representatives know who they are talking to, because it has happened a lot of times that if the attendees attend the conference for multiple years, the admission representative actually remember the attendees by their face and by their name. And it becomes really important at the time of application cycles when they're applying. The admissions people already know who you are. So please be sure to introduce yourself. The next thing is to impress the representative by demonstrating your interest. So how you do that is basically you just go to the school's website or social media and you just figure out what the school is like, the location of the school, the traditions, what the curriculum is like, what program you're interested in. This basically shows the admissions people that you know about the school, you're actually considering the school. And again, this becomes really important if you are applying to that school or if you're considering to apply to that school in the future. Also, doing your research and asking questions is a good way for you to find out if you are a good fit for the school, because sometimes some schools focus more on like the extracurricular activities or more practical side of medicine rather than theory side. So if you're a kind of person who learns more by studying rather than, but if you're a kind of person who is more, you're a better learner if when you study and stuff like that. I don't know. I think I'm missing this, but yeah, it's a really good way for you to find out if you're a good fit for the school or not. And brainstorming good questions is also a good part of the process because this becomes really important when you're comparing multiple schools at the same time, when you're shortlisting which schools to go to, especially in the pre-health fair, because there are more than 150 schools and it's just a 3-hour period. It kind of becomes a good way for you to prioritize which schools to visit in that fair. So these are just a few of the example questions that you can come up with when you are doing your research. This is not an exhaustive list, but these are a few questions that you might consider and you can base your questions off of. So one of them can be, I've heard that your school offers early clinical experiences. Can you share any examples? Or on your website, I saw the curriculum model was interprofessional learning. How does this look at your school? Or students have an opportunity to gain research experience with the faculty. How does that process work? Or a list of, or there are a bunch of organizations in the school and you are really interested in them. So you can like which organization focuses on which part, like community outreach or hosting events. These are just a few sample questions, but these are really good questions to kind of base your research on, because a lot of times if you go and ask the admissions people some questions that you can easily find your answer on the website, they would feel like you haven't done your research. But these are very specific questions. So it will show the admissions people that you are really interested in their school. So navigating the pre-health fair. So as Ruta mentioned, pre-health fair is a 3-hour fair taking place from 9 to 12 at the Hutch Field. What this would look like is that all the exhibitors or sponsors that we have, they'll be tabling all across the Hutch field. So you'll have a chance to just bounce off from one table to the other, talk to schools about their programs, how the admission process looks like, what periods they have, what they require, or experience they might require. So to prepare yourself better for the pre-health fair, you can take a look at the list of exhibitors that we have on the pre-health fair website. We are updating the website as frequently as we can so that you guys have a better idea of which schools are coming, and it will give you a good chance to kind of shortlist the schools or to prioritize the schools that you really want to check out. But also be sure to check out schools from multiple health professions, not just like like medical schools or dental schools or PA schools. This is because sometimes you might come across a school that you have not heard of, or a profession that not a profession, but a program that you have not heard of. It would not hurt to kind of check it out, because sometimes what happens, you didn't know that interdisciplinary program kind of existed, and it will be a good way for you to explore the health field of health. Then research the schools beforehand. This research doesn't have to be like very expensive, because sometimes what happens, there are so many schools and you just come across the school. The least you can do is just take a look at their website and kind of figure out the location of the schools or the traditions or extracurriculars, anything that you feel like is more important to you. Have a list of questions ready. So these can be some questions that you have, like what type of clinical experiences, or if you are a pre-med student, so what hospitals do you have tied up to, or I know for some schools, they have different types of curriculum. So if you have some specific question, you can ask that too. And the last thing is to prepare a list of goals to accomplish at the conference. So this could be anything like, oh, maybe I want to talk to 10 different schools at the pre-health fair, or I want to attend this like specific workshop. What this helps you to do, it will all kind of help you to plan out your day, but it will also help you to kind of explore the conference a little bit more. So if you have something in mind, like, oh, I should visit 3 different health professional schools. What it will do is like, it will kind of give you perspective on how to go about the day, especially in the pre-health fair when there is so much chaos already, because there's so many schools. We're expecting over 3,000 attendees. So yeah, I think this is all for this day. And lastly, so these are the social media handles. We post about our sponsors on our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook page. These our social media websites are a great way for you to find out more about the sponsors. I think we have posted most of our sponsors on our social media website, and we are still continuing to post. You can also find out the latest updates of the conference on our social media pages. So please be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, or Facebook. And we have also mentioned our website at the bottom. You can find a list of workshops that will be held during the conference. You can also find a list of exhibitors or sponsors that will be attending the conference. And also, it also has a lot of useful information about how to prepare for the conference, or I think there are a few articles on how to ask meaningful questions too. So be sure to check it all out. So I think that's all for the presentations. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to put it in the chat, or raise your hand, or just unmute yourself.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Tracy. So for the parking, since we are going to be very close to Hutchfield, there's a parking lot right in front of it. It's called Pavilion Parking Structure. I think you can check that out. It is going to be the closest. So for the dress code, we do suggest to dress up semi-formal. just because when you're going ahead and talking to the admissions representatives, I think it makes like a good impression on them. And so also have like mock MMIs and stuff. So if you are planning to like attend those, I think it's a good way to just like dress up formal for that.
So on the workshop, you can find a list of all the schools that will be attending the conference. There is also a full list of workshops that you can find there. And there are a lot of resources that you can find there, like how to prepare for the conference, how to ask questions, or what to bring to the conference, or what to expect the day of the conference. The schedule that we showed you for the pre-health conference, you can also find that on the website just in case you need it for reference.
Yeah, and if you guys have like any questions any time of the day, you can like DM us on our Instagram or like any other social media platforms, and we're always like active on there, so we're gonna get back to you. Yeah, thank you for joining in, everyone. Thank you so much, Jenny.
Yeah, thanks for being part of my orientation team.
Welcome to the team.
You're officially trainers, and sounds like it was a great info session. I learned a lot.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
have a great night.
You too.
Thank you. You
so
too.
much.
Bye.
Bye. But it's just a
That's
two.
me too.
Okay.